Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Last Wrestling Podcast, because if I have a wrestling podcast, something video game convention. That's right, this is AEW's Fyter Fest. From the Fyter Fest video game convention, which I genuinely had never heard of before today. So, this should be good. This is a B show for AEW, and they haven't advertised it as anything else. This is the show, one of the two shows in between the big events. The big events being Double or Nothing and All Out. So we've got this show, we've got the charity show, Fight for the Fallen, and then we have All Out, will be the next three pay-per-views in AEW. And right now, I'm trying to figure out why this show exists at all. Starting off with a brief summary of Buy-In. Yes, apparently that's a name they're going to stick with for their pre-shows. That wasn't just a gambling thing for the Las Vegas Double or Nothing show. And this was absolute total garbage. Okay, but it was a wide variety of garbage. You had your pleasant, eco-friendly compost heap, you had your stinking trash can, and you had your absolute dumpster fire, in about that order. Okay, 3 matches on the pre-show. The first, the pleasant compost heap, was a, get this, triple threat tag team match for an opportunity to wrestle for a first round bye in a tag team championship tournament. Can we say 1 degree of Kevin Bacon too many? This was a match between SCU, the Best Friends, and a group that I'd never seen before, Private Party. And I will say this was the best match of the pre-show by a country mile. And though that is saying absolutely nothing, as you'll see in a minute. But this was really good. Good action. I hate that these are one fall matches. But I will say Private Party impressed me with some of their athletic ability. Something they call the silly string, which was this really weird sort of bouncing DDT, kind of similar to what Bandito does with his finishing maneuver, only reversed. SCU are the ring generals that they always have been, and the Best Friends win the match. So as much as Jim Cornette hates the invisible hand grenade guy, I am cheering for a Chikara veteran here, and I'm hoping the Best Friends at least make it to the tournament, I think. I mean, have these 3 teams qualified for the tag team tournament, and they're looking for a bye? I don't quite get this. I don't understand where this is going. After the match, as the Best Friends are celebrating in the ring, the lights go out, and we get a video on the, well, you can't call it a Titantron, but on the big screen, of the former Super Smash Brothers, who will now be referred to as the Dark Order, because Team Bad Guy was too on the nose. They give a fairly fairly standard promo saying about how evil they are and how they enjoy hurting people, blah, 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 blah. At which point, magically, the lights go out, the lights come up, and the Minions, the guys, the Heartless, I guess they were called at one point, but the Minions surround 3 sides of the ring, conveniently and very politely, not standing at the hard camera side, so we could get a good view of the action. The announcers and the wrestlers act as if they are completely surrounded, as opposed to having a wide open path of escape. And then the Minions teleport out again. So that's a thing. The Dark Order has basically Undertaker powers, which, you know what? I'm actually okay with that. I like a little bit of fantasy. I like a little bit of magic in my wrestling. And, teleporting shadow beasts, I'm okay with. But these guys that they've got doing the minion shtick, somebody please get them some shirts. Most of them. That was not pleasant to look at. And I've looked at Calix the Castigator. Okay. Next match, we have the Librarian with the Librarian Uh-huh. Against Ali, last name unnecessary, apparently. And this was a pretty bad women's match. I'm sorry. There was a lot of stalling, there was a lot of trying to get this librarian character over, which is really weird because the two librarians, last time we saw them, and the last time they ruined a pre-show, weren't they rivals? What is going on here? Why are they managing each other now? I don't get this. Ali is basically your simple, peppy, Genki babyface, so good for her. She apparently is going to be involved in something going forward, which is probably why it's a good thing she won the match. One thing I will note is that the female librarian is played by the former Blue Pants of TNA. TNA. Oh God, I'm tired. The former Blue. I'm leaving that in. The former Blue Pants of NXT fame, or sort of fame, or somewhat infamy, perhaps. Then we get to the crowning turd in the water pipe. This was the dumpster fire match. The women's match was just bad. It was boring. But this was utter total crap. You have Michael Baby Oil Nakazawa versus. And by the way, can we get an explanation on why his name's Michael if he's apparently Japanese? Is he Japanese American? Was he born in the States? Can we get some kind of a background on this character other than because his name seems to be important to him? He insists on referring to himself as Michael Nakazawa, and while running his finger over his name backwards on his T-shirt because that's cool. All we know about this guy is his name's Michael Nakazawa, and he pours baby oil over himself to escape from waist locks. And I thought Joey Ryan was disgusting. I thought Gamma in Dragon Gate was disgusting. This is worse. And it turns out he's wrestling the Mummy Marc. Yeah, apparently the guy behind this CEO fighting game tournament, the guy who was presumably paying for a lot of this, he likes to play hardcore wrestler. Yes, this was a hardcore match, but this was a 2001 WWE super goofy hardcore match. Yeah, this is the hitting each other with video game controllers, choking each other out with video game controllers, body slamming somebody onto game controller buttons with the guy's face on them. Okay, slam some. If you want to do a joke hardcore spot, which why would you? Use Legos. Those actually hurt. This was dumb. And I'm not even gonna say who won because screw this. The other thing that this pre-show did, and the only reason I'm not completely skipping it, is it set up the storyline for the event, unfortunately, that Kenny Omega is trying to make a big show out of this. He tried to book musical acts, tried to book Blink 182, I think. He tried to book live models. He to sort of stand in the ring, sort of WCW style. He wanted, or like when TNA had the girls in the cages, he wanted pretty girls on the entrance ramp. He wanted a luxurious pool party. He wanted custom ring gear for himself and the Young Bucks for their trios match later. And the story is, everything is going wrong. The band pulled out. They can't afford the models, so the models have been replaced with mannequins. And the luxurious pool party at ringside is a kiddie pool that, oh, by the way, somebody just tried to drown Michael Nakazawa in. That's why the pool was there, so someone could do a drowning spot in a comedy hardcore match. This is not good. Okay, AEW has all the hype in the world behind it. People are expecting AEW to be the savior of professional wrestling. And judging by the buy-in, by the stuff they give away, the stuff they're supposed to try and entice you to watch the main show with, although this main show was given away for free, so that doesn't excuse it, but that almost explains it. This was utter, complete crap. This is the company that gave us Cody versus Dustin. This is the company that gave us Jon Moxley. This is the company that admittedly also gave us the Penis Druids, which does kind of explain a lot. So, okay, enough of a rant. I've gone on for, 10 minutes already. That's way too much for the pre-show. You know what? I'm going to make this a separate video. I've just decided. So this has been, we're going to call it Last Wrestling Podcast, episode 26, part 1. This has been the Fyter Fest buy-in. This was utter shit. I am giving this, I've never done this. Never given a grade this low, an F+. That's not a real grade, I know. I can't justify giving this a D-, but I will give it an F+ because the tag team match was pretty good. Made no sense whatsoever, but it was pretty damn good. Other than that, total shit show. Please let the main card redeem this.